You're impossibly fast and strong. Your skin is pale white and ice cold. Your eyes change color. And sometimes you speak like you're from a different time. You never eat or drink anything. You don't go out in the sunlight. How old are you?
17.
Welcome to the second part of this project. So for this trace and animate, we'll be tracing and animating Bella Swan from Twilight. So first we created Edward, so now we're creating Bella. Let's jump into it. Again, we're using Anime Studio here. Remember, I created Edward, so I got this picture that I really liked of Bella, and I'm gonna use this one to trace. The only thing that I'm dreading from this is the hair. Oh my goodness, hair is always a nightmare, but it's like hands. You know how people hate doing their hands when they're animating or drawing? I feel the same way about drawing hair, especially if it's long and whatnot. But you can see I'm going into it first. I was like, I prefer tackling the things that are much difficult first and then going for the easier stuff, because I always find that whatever problems you come across, if you are able to solve them on the difficult parts, then on the easy stuff, then it just becomes a breeze. So here I went for the hair. This actually took a long time, but overall this whole project, or animating and tracing Bella in this instance, in real time it only took an hour and about 30 seconds, or it could be an hour and 5 minutes, I don't know, between the two, but it was, you know, within an hour. So here I'm just playing around with the hair, making it look smooth. You don't want to make it look too rigid. You want to make it smooth. There. Again, we're going with the Twilight. I started with Twilight because, again, I think I had seen the movie quite recently and I was like, yeah, why not? So here, again, you don't want to make the hair too detailed. So I'm just going for a minimal look. I always say that starting a project, but then by the end of it, I've added more details than I thought I would. So here I deleted the shape of a head because I wasn't happy with it. So then I just do it again. So now we're coming to the nice stuff, putting in the here. These are just the shade underneath her eyes. The nose always looks weird at first, but it always comes out right, I think, in the end. But as you're animating it, it always looks a bit weird, and you're like, this isn't looking right. And I think doing doing Bella here, I struggled a lot because every time I worked on it, I was like, man, this looks nothing like her. But then I think as you go on, the character starts coming to life. So you'll notice that underneath her neck, I like putting another layer just to make it look nice, even though here you can't see it. But it always adds to the character, especially when the colors come in. So now I'm just adding to the animating the body. Again, I don't want to be too detailed, so just adding things that stand out and things that would add to the animation once we start creating it. So the video that you saw when the the animated video that you saw when this video started, that was just a pre-render. Again, that's not the final thing. We're gonna put it all together and create a scene with her and Edward in it together. So here, just adding the buttons to her, adding those shades of a jacket, or the creases. I still can't say creases. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I guess it depends on who taught you English first. All right, so here, just adding the lips. Again, I think these lips will be replaced because we want to be able to animate them. I think for all purpose intended is just to make the picture look nice, but they will be replaced with lips that can be lip synced. So here we're adding again, just more shades to the arms. As you can see, the picture is actually starting to come to life. And then here I started getting brave again because now I could see the picture taking form. Okay. Again, you just want to worry about the things that will appear in frame. You don't want to focus too much on things that the camera will cut out. So here, just creating the other arm. On this one, I couldn't really copy the other arm from the other side just because of the way her posture is. So I had to draw it from scratch. So now I'm going to draw the eyes, make them look nice and soft, and also just make them thick for the eyelashes there. And I heard there's a new Twilight book coming out. I don't know if it's out already. Apparently it's from Edward's perspective, so can someone read that and watch it? If you like what you're watching, please consider liking and subscribing. It's always encouraging when you see that people are watching what you do. I think quite often we get discouraged, when you put work into something and no one really pays attention. I mean, again, you should be doing something because you truly enjoy it and not for other people to like it. But it's always encouraging to have, people watch the things that you've created. So please like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing, or perhaps leave a comment. All right, so here it's time to color. Again, I just use Microsoft Paint, I think 3D Paint if I'm not mistaken. And then I just copy the color codes from the original image into the animation software. You just paste the codes, it's much faster. And then here you can see I'm just copying her base skin color and then the shade to that. And then she looks sick here, but as we go on, you'll see it make more sense. So never give up. I think at first when you're doing it, it always looks weird, and it never looks exactly. Again, we could make it look exactly, but then the more detailed it becomes, once it's time to animate, those details really come back to haunt you. So go for the minimal look. That's just my excuse because I couldn't get her to look exactly the way I wanted her to look. So that's my excuse every time it doesn't look right. I'll be like, I'll go for the minimum look. Okay, so now we're just doing the eyes. We just want to make sure that the eyes are glistening. All right, so now it's the hair. I struggled a lot with the hair because I couldn't find the right shade. Especially, I think, in the lighting that she's standing in, because then you can see where the sun is coming from her left-hand side. Yeah, from the left-hand side. Right, so then I tried finding a dark tone, but it looked weird. She started looking like what's that character from X-Men? Not Jean Grey, Rogue, I think. It's like, oh no. And then it looked weird, so I had to use the other color of the hair and then just match it to the other side and change the tone a little bit, because I wasn't too happy with that. Because then in the scene that I intend to create at the end, I don't plan on like adding like lighting in it, so it would look weird. So now I'm just coloring in the jacket and adding the shades to it to make it look nice. The character is really starting to come to full realization. So here, yeah, she's looking all right. There we go. That doesn't look bad. Doesn't look like Bella too, but yeah. All right. Here, just adding another line. Again, please remember that this is with a mouse, so you don't really need a drawing pad. Like, don't be discouraged. I remember, I think I struggled a lot, trying to get into animation, because, I had the limiting belief that if you don't have a pad, then you can't really animate, especially frame by frame. But I think over the years, I've just learned how to adapt with what I have and just use it to the, to the best of its capabilities. So here we're just adding thicknesses to the line, just add that, make it look nice. So here I'm just, making some of the lines much thicker than they actually are. Okay, it's coming together. That didn't look nice, so I had to remove that little thickness on the hair there. So here I'm gonna also just test render. Again, this is not the final render. We're gonna put this all together in a final project, and then she's going to be complete. So yeah, I actually forgot to color in the buttons. That's why I had to come back and do them again. How embarrassing. Not really. All right, here I'm just scaling them so that you can see what it looks like, And the best part is that even if you're scaling, because it's a vector image, the line thicknesses remain consistent. They don't become pixelated. So here I'm just going to animate the eyes, make it look left and right, So it's much easier once the animation is done. You can animate it. Everything that you've drawn can be animated. So that's the best part. But here, for all purpose intended, we're just going for, it's just a simple test to see if it works or not. And here, so I'm just playing around with a facial expression. And then I've noticed that Bella blinks a lot, so we're also gonna make her blink a lot in the final animation. So here I was testing how fast I can make her blink. So you can see she's closed her eyes, and then so here we've created one, and then you just copy and paste. You can see how many times I've copied and pasted. And then we've come to the end of it. So now the next stage from this is that we're gonna put it all together, but I'm gonna create another video of showing how I put everything together so that we can create a final scene and get the trace and animate to a complete for the Twilight, or for this Twilight little project. So here, this is just a test render, and then we're going to render and see if it works. And this was the final result. So I'm happy with how this turned out. And yeah, so now it's merging everything together that we've created from Edward and Bella, and then we're just gonna use another background, and then that'll be the end of it. And then we're gonna trace and animate another project. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing and hitting the like, and then please, if you've got a comment, share it with me. Thank you so much.